Welcome to the Cell Soul Source podcast. I'm Jackie, a chiropractor, yogi, and Akashic reader, and I'm here to activate healing in light workers of all kinds so they can serve from an empowered place and fulfill their purpose with ease, awe, and wonder. Hello, everybody. If you have ever said these words as a healer, I love my work, but, then this is for you. Please lean in. It doesn't actually really matter what follows the but. It could be, but I'm too busy to exercise. But I am too tired to cook when I get home. But it puts a strain on my own body. But the emotional load that I carry gets to me sometimes. But I'm exhausted by the time the weekend comes. But it's stressful and I feel anxious and I worry about it. But I wish I could work less. But I wish I could earn more, but I wish I had more clients, less clients. But I wish I could talk about the things that really matter to me. So I could go on, but I think that you get the idea. What I want to ask you is, what would it take for you to be able to say, I love my work. Full stop. End of. That's it. I love my work. Because that is the sweet spot. That is what we're aiming for. That is the goal of everything that we're doing. So I have learned so much about the matrix over the last few years, so much about the rules of the game that we all agreed to play when we came here. And looking back over my own journey, I can see how pivotal questions like these can become if you allow them to. These are really the portals that take us from, one state of being to another, if you want to say one timeline to another timeline. These are the portals, these are the crossroads where we get to go, I'm going to do something different here, and I'm going to choose a different experience. I'm going to choose a different outcome. So when I ask, I love my job, but whatever just came into your mind, give yourself a moment to let that rumble through. I love my work, but. So whatever just came up for you, and trust, always trust what comes up. I promise you, it is not a coincidence. It's not random. It's not just luck. Things come up into your conscious awareness. Things are placed in your mind when you are ready to move through them. So trust whatever just came up and know that this is the next block that you are ready to rewrite. So if it was around being too busy, I'm just too busy, I can't, exercise, I don't have time to think, I've got a lot going on. Perfect. What is the subconscious belief driving that behavior? What is the subconscious block that is making me overwork and overthink? Because consciously, you don't want to be that busy. Consciously, you want to slow down. But no matter how organized you seem to get, every minute of every day just seems to be full. So we know that it's not an organizational thing. You don't need another spreadsheet. You don't need another list. What is the subconscious block underneath all of that? if whatever came up for you was around, being drained or being tired, perfect. Again, what is the subconscious belief that is driving all of that? What is underneath that? Because consciously, you would love to have energy all day long. You would love to be, dancing around the kitchen while you're cooking with your family and laughing. But no matter how much you sleep, no matter how early you go to bed, no matter how many naps you have, you just can't seem to have that energy. So what is underneath it? This is why getting to the root of things is so, so key, and I absolutely love it. So if the thing that you came up with was, I'm not really talking about the things that matter to you, perfect. Why aren't you doing that now? You spend hours after work, weekends, reading on the subject, researching it because you absolutely love it. It really floats your boat. But when you get to work, you feel like you need to stuff that in a box, stay in your lane, and talk about weather and holidays. So, as someone who loves depth, I love depth. I love contemplating. I love going deep with people. A little piece of me would die every time I had to talk about, the weather. I want to talk about consciousness. I want to talk about raising the vibration. I want to talk about, the playground that we call Earth and where we're going and what's happening in the world. So to try and stuff that all into a little box felt awful. So what you want is on the other side of rewriting these blocks. And I say this time and time again, it doesn't have to take a long time and you don't have to swim in the emotional soup. A lot of people get put off from doing this work because they think, oh, it's going to take me ages and it's going to be draining, and it doesn't have to. It doesn't have to. In my experience, it really doesn't have to. So the reason that it feels so hard for you to do these things now, the reason it feels so hard for you to just talk about what you want to talk about, is because these subconscious beliefs have been a part of you for so long that your nervous system just believes that they're true. But like my mentor always says, if it is true for you, then it has to be true for everyone. Otherwise, it is not a universal law. And not every healer is too busy to exercise. Not every healer is feeling tired and burned out all the time. Not every healer is keeping quiet about the things that really matter to them. So if it's not true for every healer, then it's not true for you either. It is not a universal law. It is a subconscious program that you have the ability to rewrite and choose something different. And when you do, you are able to experience being a healer in the way that we are all meant to, in the way that we are all supposed to experience being a healer. And that is, I love my work. Full stop, period. Oh my God, I cannot believe that I get to do this every single day. I can't believe that this is my life. And also, of course it is, because this is what I chose to experience next. So what would it take for you to get to that place of, I love my work? It gives you that soul satisfaction that you are doing exactly what you came here to do, and it gives you a buzz. It literally lights you up like electricity. It's like energy moving through your body that you cannot wait to share. Because If you don't feel that right now, it's just subconscious programming. It's just subconscious programming. And every time you rewrite one of these, you get closer to that feeling. And it is the best feeling in the world, and I can't wait for you to experience it. So I hope you take what you need from that. And as always, don't just listen to this and go, yeah, that was really interesting. Wow. Get a journal, get a piece of paper. So there's varying degrees of solidity of energy. So if we just think about it, that solidifies the energy a little bit. But if you start speaking it out loud, if you start writing these things down, then it becomes more solid. Then you start to actually move and change things. So when you've got a moment, sit down with a piece of paper and go, I love my work, and write down all the buts. But it costs me too much time, but I'm not actually happy with the hours that I work. Well, I feel like I've outgrown the clients that I've been working with. Maybe you want to work with a more advanced kind of client. Whatever it is, sit down and write it out. Because the reason you don't have it now is just some kind of subconscious programming, something that is stored in your body, in your energy field, that you have an opportunity to rewrite so that you can experience something different. You get to choose what you want to experience next. Any questions, DM me on Instagram. Otherwise, I look forward to connecting with you in the next podcast. I am rooting for you. We rise together. If you feel called, please rate and review. I would really appreciate that.